Okay guys, welcome to the channel. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you who do not know me on this channel, or off if you see me in Ghana, or if you are a Ghanaian or someone who knows me in America from Ghana, I go by the name of Ama. It's spelled A-M-A. I know some of you are saying Alma. That's okay. Maybe that's the way it sounds when I say it. Ama is just a name and a Khan name from the Khan tribes, particularly the Ashanti. That's one of the most popular Akan tribes that they give to girls who are born on the Sabbath or on Saturday. Okay. All right. If you are a guy, you would be Kwame. All right. But girls, it is Ama. All right. But for those of you who know my real name, you're also welcome as well. All right. So I have a lot to share, guys, and I'm going to put this, hopefully get all of this in this short share. It's been a while, so I want to give you guys a couple of updates, but I want to talk about some serious issues briefly. If you want me to go into this more, as long as you don't want me to come with, any messiness, then that's fine. If you want to have a serious discussion on some things, if I really, feel that I should talk about it more, because some of these things I have already spoken about before, then I will. All right. As the Lord leads. All right. As he puts it in my heart, because I don't wait for him to, speak from the clouds to tell me to speak on something. There are a lot of things that I want to share, but I feel that, I want to do it in season, in due season, and with the right audience, okay? And I want people to understand the purpose of me sharing, okay? And so it's never to be messy, but it is to be very transparent, direct. It doesn't mean in my transparency I'm not going to be private, okay? I respect others' privacy and I respect my own privacy as well, all right? So let me cover a couple of things. Let me just tell you some of the things I'm going to be covering. I'm going to be covering some current events and, some drama going off on the continent among the diaspora, and just, some news impacting us, and just a few things that we need to consider. Okay, first, number one, I want to say concerning the giveaway for those who were in need. Several of you submitted names of persons or people who had mentioned that they had needs. I have contacted them. Some have not contacted me, but I contacted them and I gave to those that you all submitted. Okay. I was aware of some, but I gave to those names that you guys submitted to me. Okay. So anyone that whose name I received, I sent. Now, in the future, I think it's probably best for me to work with those who are on the ground and who have lots of contact with people, or close contact with people. They come in contact with those in needs. They get the news about those who are in need. I don't seem to come in contact with those people because I live a pretty private life. And that's okay, and so for those of you who are more active, then you would come into contact. And then there are some of you who work in that area. So I think it's best for me to work with those people who come in contact with others. So I will try to give to them and then they can give to others. And I will also do some of my own things as well. Okay. All right. Next thing up, Benin citizenship. To follow up, there hasn't been any definite updates concerning that. So I'm not going to give out any information until there is a definite. Okay. The information I gave was a definite. This was passed on from the president to his men and women to let's get this rolling. But as you know, there's a lot going on in the continent and on the continent. And so I know that they are dealing with quite a few things. And speaking of that, guys, the Sahel Alliance, that's the next thing. All right. Which is Burkina, Mali, Nigeria. All right. You hear a lot of things that's going on, but guys, please be very, very careful. Let's remember this. Okay. As much as we agree that France has taken advantage of, former French colonized countries, someone who has lived in a French former French colony, I can tell you there is a difference in progress concerning those when comparing those countries to, say, those which were formerly British led countries. Okay, in my experience, let's just do Ghana and Togo. I can tell you there are a lot of things that you see in Togo that you don't see in Ghana. So if we have our freedom in Ghana, all right, so to speak, but you know the American influence in Ghana, then we should be further along than Togo, right? But that's not the case. You see, Ivory Coast has come back from civil war. All right. Twice have I been in Ghana and Ivorians ran to Ghana. Okay. And the progress that you see in Ivory Coast, you should see that and more in Ghana. The genocide we saw in Rwanda, but you see the advancement in Rwanda. So we have to ask a question, the freedom that many are fighting for, okay, we should have. But are we switching taskmasters? Are we switching them for our own people or people with, dark skin or, for Russia? Are we just switching taskmasters? So you need to ask that question and really be careful. Men don't gather weapons just to look at them. All right. So moving along again. Okay. I want to talk to you guys about land in Ghana. If you are in Ghana, be very careful. If you want me to talk further about this, I will. Guys, you need to be aware of land guards, okay? It sounds like something that's good, but it's not. A land guard in Ghana is basically they are gangsters, okay? The mob of land, okay? And they come around and demand money from you if you are building on your land. And there are some areas that are prone to land guards, and you need to know about this, okay? Many people are selling land, but I don't see them telling you about land guards, okay? As recent as last week, some land guards attacked a family of a man, a woman, and a 3-year-old child with a cutlass. Did you hear me? A man, a woman, and their 3-year-old child. They had just saved their money, purchased land. They are not foreigners. They are Ghanaians, and they attacked them with a cutlass, including the 3-year-old child. So we need to be educated on this. If you want me to talk more about this and things that you should know, areas that are prone to it, I'll be glad to do it when I get time. All right, so just let me know. All right, next. Let's talk about these relationship dramas that's going on the continent, okay? If my screen freezes like it looks like it has just done, okay? If it freezes, just bear with me, okay? Relationship dramas, okay? Let me just put it like this, okay? Because this is too long to put into a short share, okay? Many people, for example, let's talk about the culture. The culture on the continent is one that many people say we as diasporas, and I'm speaking about diasporas who are speaking, that, we should embrace the culture. But I find it interesting that many people who say we should embrace the culture, they say that until there's something that they are doing or want to do or that they enjoy and it goes against the culture. They don't follow the cultural rules on those things. But on other things, they're scolding us about embracing the culture. As I've said before, my job is not to come and try to take on someone else's culture. My job and my purpose is, if I'm on the continent, to live peaceably within this culture, but still maintaining my identity as far as who I am, as a child of the Most High YAH, knowing that I am an Israelite of the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and some of Levi, no doubt about that at all, okay? And to live peaceably with the various tribes here, and to also know that there are still remnants of our people on this continent, and to live peaceably with everyone, okay? As much as lies within me. But I understand that there will be some who just don't like peace, and that includes those who are among us, okay? And so what's happening is there are some people who are doing their thing and they are being criticized. Let me just say this about relationships. Once you put your relationship out there, you open it up to criticism. And please don't think I'm speaking about just anyone. There are various people. Some of y'all not even subscribe to some of these channels. Okay. You don't even know they exist. All right. But once you put your information out there, you kind of open yourself up to criticism. Okay. Particularly if the relationship that you are in is contrary to cultural norms. Okay. And once again, if you want me to talk about some of these things, as long as you don't want me to talk about it from, attacking anyone or some drama, I may consider it. Okay. All right. But be specific on what you want to know. And a lot of hidden faces and, people who come in with no pictures and no anything and whatever, and just trying to stir me up against other people, it won't work. I don't fall for that. Let me cover that as well. Some of you are being criticized along with others. And then your defense is not to speak on the issue, but to criticize a few people who are, for example, who are sitting in America, who don't even live on the continent, who are criticizing you and your relationships. All right. People, some of them who don't want to come to Africa, who don't believe we Africans, and you're falling for their trap. And then you're turning against those of us who are on the continent who support you. I have seen some of the most, hateful comments filled with vitriol towards African Americans who are on the continent, made by other diasporans from various places who are on the continent. If you have not said it yourself, you have allowed them to comment on your channel. If you have, you're a hypocrite in the sense that you say you love us, you say that we are one, but yet you turn around and do the opposite. A hypocrite means that you profess one thing and you do the opposite. Okay. And so to say that you love, but then turn around and spew hate, and then allow others to come and use your channel to spew hate, is hypocrisy. Okay. I would never do that. In fact, you never see, I let people speak their thoughts, but there are a lot of comments that I get. I mean, a lot of comments that I get where people say hateful things about Africans. They say hateful things about other people, and I don't post them because I hold my comments and I release them. Now, some people try to play slick and edit their comments afterwards or whatever, but believe you me, when I first see them, they don't have that vitriol in them, because I'm not going to be one who's going to be supporting that kind of hatred being spewed against one another. I'm just not going to. And if you say you love us, then let your actions show that you love all of us. Okay. And so I also want to say to the diaspora, particularly my brothers and sisters in America, it seemed like we got the hardest way to go. There's a lot of hatred towards us. I honestly have not seen one channel where an African American who's on the continent, I'm not talking about people sitting in America who don't plan to come here, who's scared to leave the plantation, not even to visit. I'm not talking about them, but I'm talking about those of us on the continent. I have not seen one channel where our people sit and spew hatred against our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, from the UK, from Africa, from anywhere. I mean, spewing hatred. They may speak their experiences, but I'm talking spewing hatred. I have read comments from Africans that said that's why on other people's channel, and they allow it to be posted, they even respond to it, that say things like that's why they're killing them in America. All right, that was a couple of weeks ago or so, or I saw that one. That's why they're killing them in America. I saw one recently. That's why white people are treating them the way that they do in America. Are you saying that people like Sonia Massey deserve the hatred, the violence, the murder that occurred? You're saying she deserved that? You're saying other people who are have been gunned down, choked out, and beaten, mistreated, discriminated against, you're saying that that's why they treat us that way? And it's interesting that these people have been riding the backs of our sufferings, riding the backs of our ancestors suffering, but yet when they come to the continent, instead of unifying with us here, they rather make comments like we are the worst people, we're the worst enemies in Africa. I'm reading these kind of comments, and I say them because I know people have a habit of erasing them. Okay, because see, if I say something, I come with receipts. All right, if I need to. And so this is so terrible. And I want people who are not here yet, and you're coming. And if you come and you find that, wait a minute, I thought we're supposed to be one people, especially working together. That's what they're showing in the videos. Yeah. But if you watch the videos close enough, you'll see the jealousy. You'll hear the little jealousy, not only from those from the diaspora, but even from those on the continent. For example, I'm just going to use some initials, all right? Okay. And if you're listening, you'll know who I'm talking about. There are so many people that are jealous of AI. in the work that she's doing. And it's not just those from, from abroad. There are some right on the continent who are jealous of her. Whether you like her delivery or not, that's whatever. I kind of admire her way of being able to nip situations in the bud. All right. Now, maybe I would, go about it a little differently. Sometimes some of us are a little bit more diplomatic, but sister just did, this ain't gonna work. Okay, here go your money. Boom. All right. And offense is a terrible thing. I've spoken about this on my other channel, many times. Offense will get you into a terrible place. And the truth of the matter, a lot of people who come up against other people online are just offended by the way they handle something. And I try not to be offended, but I try to deal with the issue in a peaceful manner. And honestly, guys, it hurts to see people who you have been supporting, even silently, and you're cheering them on, and to see just a little squeezing, just somebody squeeze them just a little. Somebody says something about them. People who don't even matter, people who don't even live on the continent, people who may even be operatives, which is another point I want to share. Our people are ignorant to the fact that there are operatives among us. There are paid agents, some civilian, some military, some former military, some people operating on grants to research us, to conduct interviews with us, and to go back and feed the powers that be that information. Educate yourself. There are so many programs out there where people get paid to gather information. Okay, and give that information to members of Homeland Security, whoever they're working with. And don't think that the governments of the countries that you're going to are not participating. They are also participating. They are also participating, and they're also being funded. But we understand that this is the state of the world, okay? And as members of Israel, the scripture says we shall be hated of all nations. That includes black nations. So when you come here, my point is to warn my brothers and sisters, look, if they separated themselves from us in America, guess what? They do the same thing on the continent. They're not going to change. Crossing that water ain't going to change their heart. But what will happen is they may do, a little bit for a little while, but let some situation squeeze them just a little bit. You're going to see what's really in the heart. You're going to see the hatred in the heart. Just because they are friends with some African Americans, so-called friends, listen, it doesn't change the heart. I notice in America that they will have friends, but oftentimes they make friends with people that we would call ratchet or needy. And I think they do that strategically. All right. They do that strategically. The ratchet one is to come to their defense just in case, they feel like we might deal with them one day because we see them. All right. So they buddy up with a ratchet person or needy people, right? For other reasons. Okay. I can go into that. But listen, please, 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 guys, know that crossing that water is not going to change the heart. This is something that we have to allow the Holy Spirit to do. And some of these people are calling on the name of the Most High YAH. That's the most painful and disappointing part, right? But he says that we're all being gathered, all right? Some going to be gathered into the wilderness. There are going to be two gatherings, guys. Listen, the church that's in the wilderness, wherever that is, and then the other remnant, the scripture says, that keeps the commandments of Yah and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. They are also there. We are all gonna, those who are his children, keep the commandments of Yah and have the testimony of Yahushua. All right, the HaMashiach. All right, the Messiah, the Mashiach. All right, but they're in two different places. One is in the wilderness and one is not. So whether our brothers and sisters choose to come wherever we are or feel like they need to leave or stay, all right, we're supposed to be one people with one faith, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. But please know that he says that I will bring you out and I will prove you. I will test you. All right. And some people going to be cut off. They're going to continue doing the same things that they did in America. That same things they did in UK. Same things they did in the Caribbean. Same things they doing in Africa. Same things they doing in South America. Same things wherever they are. Unless their heart is changed, the same feelings they had toward you wherever they were, they're going to continue to have those same feelings. So I just want to prepare you for the shock of that and the pain of that, because it can be painful. So don't say you love us and you say the most terrible things because somebody who's not even where you are is saying some things about you and about your personal life. Come on, come on. Let's stop using one another too. There's some of us out here that's just using people. Okay? Stop using people. All right? You don't want to be used. Stop using people. Stop trying to manipulate. All right? Stop trying to use that subtle witchcraft or that overt witchcraft, whichever it is. Okay? If you need something, ask for something. If you need something, ask for something. And our people need to be willing to give. All right? We need to be willing to give cheerfully to one another. All right. So let me see what else we can talk about. Okay. Now I'm talking about the operatives. Let me remind you again, we got ops among us. Y'all need to educate yourself on COINTELPRO. You need to educate yourself on targeting. All right. You need to educate yourself on EMF. Some of y'all think y'all sick. You ain't sick. You're being attacked. You need to educate yourself on Havana syndrome. All right. How they took over and hijacked the Havana syndrome. Look up the 60 Minutes series on Havana syndrome. It's not just happening to diplomats in Cuba. It's happening to more citizens around the world, globally. All right. But particularly those who travel abroad. All right. They grabbed that and called it Havana syndrome, and the people can only go and see the U.S. government concerning their symptoms. Why? Because they want to control the narrative. So educate yourselves on these ops among us. If somebody running around Africa, all right, here we go, running around Africa 10 months out of the year, and they go home and they associate with the military, and they supposedly back home for 2 months. I don't know how many of you grew up around military, all right, but there are several military bases around where I grew up. That person is on deployment, okay? If people come in here ex-military, military don't earn a lot of money. They don't. I don't care how high ranking you are. I have family members who are very high ranking, and even as not only as officers, but as enlisted. I had one that reached the highest. I'm not going to give too much detail because you'll be able to identify. All right? Okay? But listen, you know their income, you know their pay scale, you know how they get paid, you know the age of retirement and the schedule of payment. If you got a lot of these people here coming and doing these wonders, dropping lots of money, all right, you need to ask yourself some questions. All right, ask yourself a lot of questions. Oh, it stopped. It stopped. Okay, we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep going though. Is it still going? All right, guys, look like I'm still going. I don't know if it stopped or not, but it's still going now. All right, so if you see people all of a sudden dropping a lot of money, okay, unexplainable, this is not to sow seed of suspicion. It's to make you think. Make you think. And why are other diasporas who are former military are not calling out certain things, are not saying, something just ain't right. Y'all shine your eyes. Wake up. Okay? Wake up. A lot of people are funded. You sweating and wondering why things ain't working for you. Some people are funded, okay? Some people are funded, whether ex-military or not. Some people are funded. Please look this stuff up. You can get grants, all right, to research us. Watch some YouTube videos. People who have been approached by the CIA. Do you know the CIA recruits, I think, as young as 18 years old? Do you know that? High school, they start recruiting. College, look it up. It's out there. All right. So, guys, you need to be aware of some of the things that are going on and off of the continent with the intent of separating us. That's my point of sharing this. Not to make you suspicious of our former military diaspora, but to make you aware of the various programs that are out there, including those that recruit ex-military, who many of them can't find no job. Can't find a job in America. All right. So, citizenship in Ghana. All right. Let's skip the citizenship part. Let me just talk about this one. Healthcare. There is talk about requiring for the diaspora or those who visit Ghana to have medical insurance. So they're going to require that we have medical insurance. They're thinking about it. It's not in writing. It's not permanent. They're considering requiring making us purchase medical insurance from them. Now, you may already have medical insurance. You may already have travel insurance, but there is talk. It is not definite. It is not. In fact, they came out to say that this is not so because people were saying that it's so. They are considering it, but there is they're doing some studies to see if they are going to require those traveling to Ghana to purchase insurance. More money, more money, more money, more money. All right. All right. If they're going to require us to purchase medical insurance from them. All right. Fasika bra. I think that means bring money. Fasika bra. Entry. Bring more money. Bring money. Huh? Will it ever end? No. All right, so next, protect your privacy, guys, while you are in Ghana. Let me just tell you this. Okay, on your mobile phones, people can get your name. If you give anybody your phone number, okay, it's not like America. If you give anyone your phone number in Africa, know this. They can plug your phone number into their Momo app and it'll pull up your name. Be very careful. Then they can turn around and call you and pretend that they're from so-and-so and so-and-so. And you think, okay, because nobody else knows my name. They got my full name here. It must be them. So be very, very careful. There's no privacy. They violate Ghanaians' privacy all the time in Ghana. All right. So be careful of giving out your name, your phone number, because the person can verify your name. Okay. One of the requirements that I had when I was giving the funds away, because I wanted to make sure that scammers were not getting involved. Okay. So please be very, very careful about giving out your phone number. All right. And so once again, I spoke about the vitriol that people are spewing and people are allowing others to spew against us. It's bad. It's very hurtful that you say you're for us. We say we are one, but the jealousy, the meanness, how can I even fix my mouth to say that's why they're killing them? That's why they're treating them that way. I've heard Africans say it. I've seen them say it. I've seen Caribbeans say it. I've seen, other non-African Americans say this. What makes you different than the white person that feels justified doing it? The cop that feels justified in doing it? Nothing. Once again, my brothers and sisters, if they didn't associate with you abroad, don't expect them to associate with you in truth on the continent. If they didn't love you where they were when y'all were together in whatever country, don't expect them to come over here and love you. That doesn't stop you from loving, right? But please, if we are really going to be one, we got to lay aside the chains of colonialism, that have wreaked havoc among us, the seeds of Willie Lynch that have turned us against one another. We got to break those chains. I love my brothers and sisters. I love you enough to tell you the truth, that that's wicked. Now, let me just be very, very clear. It is not even all of the Caribbean, right? But I've seen enough people write that. All right. I've seen enough Africans say things like that. How can you even say something like that? You know how you can say it? It's in your heart. It's in your heart. And your heart is wicked. I'm going to tell you straight up. Wicked. 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 And that's just some of the things they say. All right. Now, also, please, guys, you know what? I want you to do something. Get you some security cameras. It doesn't even have to be CCTV. You can get you some of these security cameras that you can just put up yourself. Some of them go into the light bulbs. Some of them attach some of these wireless security cameras. Please get you some. Get you a couple. Now try to find some that don't have the subscription that require you to have the subscription. It's an option, but try to get some that don't have that. You might have to go through a couple of them before you find the right ones. If you get you some security cameras, you're going to be surprised at what you see going on around your house, on and off the continent. Please, if you're on the continent, put your security cameras up. I promise you. I might discuss with y'all some of the things I have seen on our security cameras. I'm talking about something wicked. Okay, just straight up wicked. All right, so, and some other things. Okay, beware. Okay, so please, guys, please, please, please get yourself some security cameras and put them up. All right, and safety is important. I'm praying for all of us to be safe. Another thing, guys, when you're traveling, be very, very careful. Accidents are common, especially in Ghana. All right, they have lots of road accidents. One of our Jamaican sisters, unfortunately, died in a bus accident coming from Kumasi. Yeah. And I had only seen her once. I saw her on another Jamaican's channel, Cindy Marvelous, and she spewed some stuff, guys. She spewed some truth, all right, that may have offended some people. I don't know, but I've only seen her once, and I like that sister, and I just pray may she rest in peace. All right. And she died in a bus accident on that Kumasi Road, which is a very, very terrible road. Now, the good news is that the airport, the newly designed airport in Kumasi, is now reopened, so you can take flights. She traveled right before it was reopened. Okay, and so it's very, very sad that she died. But please be very, very careful, guys, driving up and down the road, and having your drivers, don't let them drive crazy with you. Be very, very careful, especially on these 1-1 roads, which brings me to my next discussion. Some of you need to know the regions where you're buying land, how far out it is from everything you would want to be near. Okay, so I will be discussing some other things along that line, hopefully in the near future, hopefully. All right. Okay, and our sister Naomi, who was murdered also in the central region, I haven't heard any updates about her trial. I did hear that her trial was supposed to be coming up last week or this week, but if you have heard anything, please keep us posted. We need to know what's going on with one another, guys. All right, we are our brothers and sisters keepers. Yes, we are. It's not easy bringing a family together. Our Caribbean family, they are our family. Our UK family, they are our family. Our brothers and sisters who are, especially those of us who are Israel on the continent, are family. Please know that everybody on the continent are not the same. They're not the same. Okay, they're not the same. Even in the same country, they're not the same people. Okay, but we're here to live peaceably with everyone, as much as lies within you. All right, but I'm not here to compromise my faith. I'm not here to compromise my faith. I'm not here to do things that the Most High has told me not to do. All right, and I'm not here to lose good sense. I'm not here to lose no good sense. All right, I'm praying to be wiser and wiser, wiser and wiser. Okay, and this is my prayer for all of us with the wisdom that's from above. All right, not the wisdom that's below. The word says that's devilish wisdom. That's sensual wisdom. Is led by the flesh, by the senses. But I need that wisdom that's from above, which is pure. All right, and we need the pure. We need the peaceful. We need the spirit of the Most High YAH to lead us. And so this is my prayer for all of us, that we love one another. All right, with the true love from above, not easily offended, because see, offense will get you to say things that you don't want exposed. All right, but sometimes Yah will allow you to be squeezed so we can see what will come out of you. And sadly, some of you, just a little squeezing has exposed your heart to those who didn't see, the signs before. But if you have eyes to see, you've seen some of the signs before, but it doesn't mean that we don't wish you well. Many are doing very, very well and successful. All right. Very, very successful. I wish every one of my brothers and sisters on the continent well. I wish you well and good success. But I also wish us wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and a love for truth. All right. Don't become somebody's enemies because they tell you the truth. And be aware of those who are just there to sow discord among the brethren. All right? Be wise. Don't fall for every trap. Some things you answer and some things you don't. All right? So, guys, thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Shalom.